Hey everyone, welcome back to Ayaz Tech. I am Ayaz Zafar, and in today's tutorial we are going to dive deep into Angular Reactive Forms to create a dynamic form for adding users. If you have ever wondered how to seamlessly allow users to add multiple contact numbers, choose the type, or describe their numbers without cluttering your form, then you are in the right place. With Angular's form array, adding these dynamic features becomes a breeze. So whether you are an Angular newbie or just looking to polish up your skills, let's get started and build this dynamic form together. Alright, so first of all, I'm going to create a new project by using this command ng-new. Alright, the project has been installed. Now I will go into that project. So I have opened that project in my VS Code. That is my editor. You may use any other editor if you want to. Okay, now in the terminal, I'm going to run a command ng serve -o that will start the project in the browser. Alright, the project is now running in my browser. So now let's remove the default code from the app component, and as we are going to use reactive forms, so in the imports array of app module I will import reactive forms module. Make sure to import it here as well from Angular/forms. Once you have imported that in and added in the imports array, go back to the app component. We are ready to start using it. So in the app component.ts file, I will create a variable form. You can give it any name, whatever you prefer, and the type is going to be FormGroup. Also make sure to import it from the Angular forms, and here I will add a new form group. I will actually use a service from Angular that helps us to build the form groups very easily. So for that I need to create a constructor first so that I could inject my service in it. Now I will add private fp form builder service. Now I can use it to create my form like this, and I have passed an object, and every property would be the name. Every property would reflect the field of that form. So for example, we are going to add users, so I have name, email, and city. Okay. In the HTML, first of all, I will add a button, and that button would say add user. Okay. And let me add some styles to it. Okay. So now below that section, I will add a table or something like that. Or maybe I will just display the user, whatever user is created. So form.value. So whatever form whatever values you have been adding in the form, it will show those values in the JSON format below. Right now we have nothing in it, that's why you can see it is looking like that. I will add it in the pre-tag. Okay, so now if user clicks on the add user, I will display the form. So here I will add a property in my class, in my component, show form. By default it is false. Okay, and here I will add a div for my form. You can also create a form tag. and here you can add the if condition. If form show form is true, then show it, otherwise it will not show it. But if user clicks on the add user, let me actually change the text for this one. This is submit button, and if user clicks on that, we will display the form. Okay, you can see as I clicked on that, the form is visible now. So let me add some styling, the basic styling. Okay, now I will add a div here, and I will add some styles. And the width should be 100% of this flex box. Okay. Now I will add some margin bottom. For now I will make it visible so that I could easily style my form, complete it. I also want to add margin bottom below my form, so here I will add margin bottom 20 pixels. Okay, and maybe the width should be 50%, I guess, and margin auto to bring it in the middle. Okay, now it is looking better. Now we have name, age, and then I'm going to have another div that is going to have city in it. Okay, and further I need to link these input fields with the fields of my form group. To make that possible, first of all, we need to add form group directive and make sure to add square brackets around the form group and give it the form that you just created in the component ts file. Now in the inputs, just add form control name, and here I will give it a name. So make sure that these names exactly match with these names that you have mentioned in the object of the form group. So I will repeat the process for all of my input fields so that I could link all of those. So right now, if you make any change, you will notice that thing is being updated here. But if after it is linked, we will have two-way binding, and you will notice that change in the JSON below. This should be email, not age, and the type of this input should be email, and next is going to be city form control. And now let's try to make some change. You can see it is now updating in the real time reactively. After that, it's time to add the contact information. So for that, here I will add a heading h2, add contact details. Okay, and below that I will add my inputs, but before that I need to update my form group. So here I will add another property, contacts, and by default this is going to be this.fb.array. So by default it will have an array and the default value would be empty. You can also provide it the default data or default controls, but right now I'm going to keep it empty. So after that, here I will add another div, and in this div I will add form array name, and here you will give it a name of that array that we have. Our array name is contacts, and then in the child I will add another div, and here I will use ng for loop, let, and control of. So this is a custom variable, and here I will use form dot get, and here I will get the contacts, and controls. So we have to fix that type casting type issue. I will get this data from the component class file. So here I will add a function or getter get contacts. So here you can see that I'm returning this dot form dot get contacts. So once you do that, you get the contacts, but we want to typecast it to as form array. Okay, now go back here, and instead of that I will use contacts and dot controls. So in form array every item is a control, so it will give me control for every item. Right now there is no control, but I will add a default control, but before that let me add an input first. So for that we are going to have 3 inputs in that. So let me actually copy paste some designing, some layout for that one. So here first of all, here I will add form group name, and here I will pass the index. So I have to define the index. Let I is equal to I x maybe. Okay, now I will pass my index here, but as I is the JavaScript variable, so in order to add it here I need to wrap this in square bracket so that I could execute my JavaScript in this value. So I will pass my I here, and now you can simply provide the form control name of within that array form group. So as we know that we are going to have a number and number here as well, and then we are going to have the type text type. Okay, so now here I will add a default form group, this dot fb dot group, and in that I will define the properties. So first property is number, second is the type, third one is description. Okay, now if you check that, we already have one section, number type, that is coming from here. We did not add the input for the description yet, that's why it is not visible. So I will add another div, and in that div I will actually one second, I think I should wrap it in another div or container. For that I will use ng container, and I will move this part into this one, and now I can simply copy paste it, and I will remove this input, and here instead of input I will add a text area. So in that text area, we are going to have some data, like we are going to have the form control name is going to be description, and make sure to close this text area tag. Okay, now you can see we have it. And here I can add a border, make it visible, style border 1 pixel dotted, gray color, maybe a bit darker color, and padding should be 20 pixels. Okay, this is how it is going to look like. After that, I want to add margin bottom from here so that it don't touch the submit button. Okay, now we need to add another button, maybe here or in this. I think we need to add it after that context detail. That will allow us to add more form groups in that context array. So here I will add a button. So add contact button, and we need to create, so I'm actually registering the click event on that button, that if somebody clicks on that, we will call this function add contact. We have to define that function, and now I will use this dot context dot push. So when you access this dot contacts, we are actually trying to access the getter. So whenever you access the getter, it will return you the context form array. Now you can push it the data that you want to create. So I want to push this structure of form group into it, so I will give it that one. Now let's test it. If I click on that, you can see that a new array item has been generated, and in this way you can have multiple data. And also, not only that, look at the JSON structure below. You can see right now there is only one object in the contacts array, but if you click on the add contact, it will have another object in it, and it will have as many objects as you click on the add contacts button. And it also keeps the track of the data. For example, if you add description in the third one, then the description of the third object would be updated. You can see only this one is being updated. Okay. So another thing, we need to add a delete button in every box as well. So let's go back here, and before that I need to add margin bottom below every box. So here I will add margin bottom 10 pixels. Okay, great. Now let's add a delete button on the top right side of every box. So here I will add, before that I need to add the position relative, and now with the, here I will add a delete button, and I will style it to the top right side of this box. So I have position absolute, top right, top 0, right 0, background red, color white, border none, padding this, and cursor pointer. So this is how it is going to look like, but still it is overlapping on the input, so we have to add padding top. We have to increase the padding top. So right now we have 20 pixels on the top, so I will add 30 pixels on the top, or maybe 35. Okay, now it is looking good. So now I will call a function when somebody clicks on that button. So if user clicks on that, I will call a function delete contact, and I will pass the index of the array item that we are on right now. So I'm getting the I from here that we defined earlier. Now let's define this function in the TS file, and here I am getting the index. Now we can delete it very easily. So just access the form array by using the getter that we have, this dot contact. As this is getter, this will give us the form array. Once we have the form array, in that form array there is a built-in function made by Angular, provided by Angular, that is remove at and give it the index from where you want to remove it. And we know that it is going to be a number, so I will give it a type of number. Now let's give it a try. I will click on the delete button. It was not deleted. Let me double check if there is any error. Actually the HTML was not saved, so let's save it and try it again. Now click on the delete, and now you can see that contact has been deleted. Now let's add few more contact blocks, and you can see that there are 3 contacts. You add something here and delete this one. You will see that it will delete as well. Okay. All right, so this is how we have successfully made the dynamic form that will manage and maintain the form values very easily. You will be able to add as many fields as you want to. You can make a way more complex form as well by using this approach. So this is just a simple example, but this is very powerful way to make dynamic forms. So if you understand this one, then you can build any kind of dynamic complex form, and you can make it very complex features in your website. So at the end, I just want to implement the submit button, and then we will finish this video. So here on submit, click, I will call a function on submit. Let's define that function in the TS file. And here I will simply alert the data that we got from the form. To alert, I will just use this .form.value. And now let's add some data here in the type, add multiple contacts. And now I'm going to hit the submit button, and you can see we have the data, but this is object. We have to convert it into the string, json.stringify form value null2. So I added these 2 parameters just to format the indentation, but other than that, this is the value object, and we are converting it into the JSON stringify. Okay, now let's try it again. Now let's hit the submit button, and you can see we have all of the details. Now you have the data. You can very easily use this .form.value, and you can make use of this data in any way, whatever way you want to use it. You may want to send it to the backend server. You can just use the HTTP client and pass this data to the backend, and backend will save that data in the database. So it's up to you. Alright folks, that wraps up our tutorial on creating a dynamic form in Angular using Reactive Forms and FormArray. I hope you found it insightful and are now equipped to bring more flexibility and interactivity to your Angular applications. If you found this tutorial helpful, then please give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow developers, and don't forget to subscribe for more tech content. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below and I will do my best to get back to you. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy coding.